Hey everyone, welcome to their top 20 list. I was about to say top 10 list, but welcome to another top 20 list. Top 20 of my favorite Universal movies. I've done a bunch of the top 10 lists of certain studios, so thought, hey, fuck it, let's do it. Universal's turn. Universal is one of the biggest film studios of all time. Right up there with Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Disney, MGM, and all the big ones. Universal. I was gonna do top 10, but top 20 sounds a lot better because there's a lot of fucking movies with Universal, and I'm not gonna do honorable mentions because there's about like 40 honorable mentions. So let's just get right into it. Number 20, The Sting. The Sting with Paul Newman, Robert Redford, and Robert Shaw. The Best Picture winner of the 70s. A lot of people say Exorcist should have won, and I kind of get that. They were both the best movies of that year in 1973. Was it 73? Great movie. I love a good I love a movie about trying to rip people off and try to outsmart people. It's a movie all about hustling people and trying to trick people out of their money. It's really great. It has a great fucking ending. The ending is one of my favorite parts of this movie. And Robert Redford and Paul Newman, anytime they're together, like whether it's this and Bush Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, they work so well. This is a movie I watch every couple of years, and I love it. I love the time period. I love the characters. I love the story. It's everything about it, the costumes, the production, something about this movie just always brings me back, and I always need to watch it and just check on these characters and just watch an amazing Paul Newman and Robert Redford movie. Robert Shaw's great too in the movie too, but I love it, so good. Number 19 is 1917. 1917 is the one of the best war movies of the modern age. This movie is incredible. It's the best movie directed by Sam Mendes. It's literally just about two characters making their way through the battlefield to go to the very other side and warn this sergeant not to attack the enemy. That's literally what the whole movie is. And the whole movie is done, well, it looks like it's all done in one long tracking shot. Just like Birdman or Rope or something like that. It's brilliant. The acting is amazing. The cinematography is breathtaking. Sam Mendes' direction is so good. These two characters, you just care about them and you want to see them succeed on their mission. And the ending when he's running across the battlefield and the soldiers are hitting him is probably one of the most tension-filled scenes in a war movie. Absolutely love this movie. Blew me away. So fucking good. Number 18 is Oppenheimer. This year's Oppenheimer. Check out my review. Did a whole review on this movie. It's Christopher Nolan. Like I said, he's back, baby. It's an incredibly well-made, well-constructed film. Cillian Murphy is incredible. Oscar-worthy performance. The whole cast, like Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt, Florence Pugh. Everyone is sensational in this movie. It's long, but it's very needed. The shots, the visuals, the practicality is all spectacular. This, out of the Barbenheimer, was my favorite. Fuck Barbie. Oppenheimer. Coming at number 17 is an odd choice. It's 8 Mile. A great movie. It's leave it to Eminem to be in one movie, and the one movie he played in, he was great in it, and the movie itself was great. It's basically a loose, sort of autobiographical story about his life. Kinda. It's not really, but it is. It's interesting. It's basically about an underground rap artist trying to make his name and stuff. He goes to the shelter every week, and he performs, and he always chokes, gets booed off stage and stuff, and it's him trying to make it through his life. He's living in a trailer park with his mother and trying to be a father and trying to deal with his separation and also just trying to be a rap artist. It's a great underdog story. It's got amazing freestyling rap scenes. Eminem is great in this movie. Same with Michael Shannon, Kim Basinger, Mekhi Phifer, Brittany Murphy, rest in peace. All solid in this movie. And it's got a very early performance of, what's his name? Anthony Mackie as Papa Doc. Number 16 is Serenity. Yes, the movie of Firefly. Written and directed by Joss Whedon, sadly. Yes, let's not talk about Joss Whedon now, but this movie's amazing. I love it. Firefly is one of my all-time favorite television shows, and making a movie about what happened after because the show got canceled because Fox is just stupid and they released the episodes in different orders. I digress about that, but it's a movie pretty much ending the Tam story of River and Simon. It's so good. All the characters are back. It's fantastic. It's a great sci-fi action movie comedy. It's so good. It's so goofy. It's so action-packed and hilarious. And seeing all these characters back on the big screen is great. And sadly, the movie didn't make a lot of money, so we didn't ever get a sequel. But we got like a comic book series, which is pretty good. But yeah, we'll never know how it could have been. The Fox, they took this guy from me. All right, number 15 is The Hurricane. Denzel Washington's The Hurricane. This is one of my all-time favorite performances by Denzel Washington. He plays a boxer nicknamed The Hurricane, and he's one of the first like big heavyweight champions who's African American, like right up there with like Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and stuff. In this movie, he gets falsely accused of murder and goes to prison for life. And it's a lot about his life as a boxer, but him in life in prison, him trying to find a way to get out and deal with imprisonment. And then he becomes a pen pal of a young kid who's a fan of him because he wrote the book and stuff. And it's about this like Canadian family now trying to get him out of prison and clear his name. It's a brilliant story. It's so emotional. It's so hard-hitting. It's so deep. And Denzel Washington is spectacular in this movie. He's spectacular in everything, but this movie in particular is my favorite performance by Denzel Washington. He's incredible. So good. All right, coming in number 14 is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Love this movie. It's the graphic novel come to life on the screen. It's amazing. I hate that this movie also bombed at the box office because the Expendables, right? Great movie. It's very loyal to the source material. I love its style, its action. Edgar Wright was the perfect choice to direct this movie. I was going to say, it's amazing. It's so good. Coming in number 13 is another odd choice, but Knocked Up. Knocked Up is one of my all-time favorite romantic comedies. I actually love this movie. I'm not always a huge fan of Seth Rogen now. I think he's really fallen from grace. But this is when he was still really funny back, like, you know, his 40-Year-Old Virgin days and stuff. But Knocked Up, I think, is a lot funnier than the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I put this stoner guy knocking up this girl, and he has no clue how to be a parent and is definitely not ready to be a parent and stuff. So funny. It is a very funny stoner raunchy comedy, but also with a really good story about a man trying to change his life to be a better father and a better husband to a woman that really fucking needs it right now. Super good. Seth Rogen, the whole crew, like Jonah Hill, Jason Segel, Jay Baruchel are all in it, and it's the only good performance you'll ever see of Katherine Heigl, so really enjoy this one because it's a rarity. Number 12 is The Northman. The Northman is a really brutal, disturbing, out there Viking movie that is incredible. Alexander Skarsgård is amazing. Love Nicole Kidman, Bjork, and Willem Dafoe. Absolutely insane, this movie. Robert Eggers is definitely, out of the modern filmmakers, one of the most unique filmmakers. Like, I prefer him over like Ari Aster or Yorgos Lanthimos, who are also like really weird out there filmmakers. Robert Eggers is just 3 for 3 for me, and this is one of his best. It's brutal, it's beautifully shot, it's very fucked up, but in the best way possible. So fucking good. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Coming in number 11 is Master and Commander, Far Side of the World. I've talked about this in my previous lists. I've talked about this many times. It's a Russell Crowe movie on a ship. Paul Bettany. Talked about it too much. Definitely go see it. Y'all know I love it. Anyways, number 10, Coraline. Yes, this was a Leica Studios movie, but on home DVD and Blu-ray, Universal sent it out, so still technically Universal. Love it. One of my favorite stop-motion anime movies right there with Paranorman, Kubo the Two Strings, Nightmare Before Christmas. I love it. It's definitely a movie. It's Halloween season. I'll probably be watching it again this Halloween season with Paranorman. I love this story. Love Dakota Fanning in it. Love the animation. The Belle Dome, I can't talk about her enough. I think she is one of the creepiest villains in an animated kids film. The creepiest. The music, the animation, the style, the bleak and dark tone. It's so fucking good. Coming to number 9, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Steven Spielberg. A lot of Universal movies Spielberg did. Love this movie. It's so good. It's just a beautiful, lighthearted movie about this kid Elliot finding an alien, become best friends with it. So good. The score by John Williams, the ending, beautiful, great story. Nothing negative to say about E.T. Coming to number 8 is The Blues Brothers. Love The Blues Brothers. It's probably one of the best movies based off an SNL skit right there with Wayne's World. But I think this movie's a little better than Wayne's World, but still great. John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, amazing. Yeah, great singers like Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles in this movie. The movie just doesn't stop. It is constantly fast-paced action comedy, and it doesn't stop. Action, crazy jokes, musical numbers, just keeps going until they end up in prison at the end. What's not to love about that? Coming at number 7 is Gladiator, another movie I just talked about in my DreamWorks one. So, again, this is another movie, Russell Crowe movie I've talked so much about. Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, Richard Harris. It's one of the great, swords and sandals, period piece movies. The action, the cinematography. Ridley Scott's one of his best, right up there with Blade Runner. Blade Runner being my favorite, obviously, but amazing movie. Number 6, John Carpenter's The Thing. My favorite John Carpenter movie, and probably my favorite horror movie of all time. Right up there with Alien, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street and The Exorcist, but this one might be my favorite because I love the characters. I love the isolation in Antarctica. There's this alien presence, and it can take the form of anyone, so they just call it a thing. The thing could be anything. It's crazy. It's intense. It's scary. It's got great mystery and tension. You got Kurt Russell and Keith David, who are spectacular. The practical effects is amazing. Some of the best practical effects you will ever watch in a sci-fi horror film. John Carpenter's direction is amazing. This is easily his best film. And yeah, it's another film I'm going to be watching this month for Halloween season. So good. All right, top 5, baby. Number 5, Inglourious Basterds, one of Tarantino's best movies. It's a great fictional war story. It's an alternative take on World War II of what if this existed? Kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What if these two characters existed in the time period and how they change history? This one is what if the bastards exist in World War II? How would that change the cause of the war? Really great movie. Christoph Waltz, Hans Landau is amazing. You got Brad Pitt is one of my favorite characters of Lieutenant Aldo Rain. You got amazing writing, gripping performances, and a shocking ending, and surprisingly a lot of funny scenes. So yeah, Glorious Bastards was not to love. Number 4, Breakfast Club. One of my all-time favorite coming-of-age stories about teenagers who are, for some reason, showing up to detention on Saturday. Love this movie. It's just about 5 different cliques. You got a brain, a beauty, a jock, a basket case, and a criminal. The 5 of them meet together and open up each other's hearts and become, hopefully, friends at the end. It's about them just, hanging out for the day and learning about each other and about their parents and their lives and their futures and what they feel about adults and how they're going to change their situations. It's just it's funny, it's deep, it's well acted, it's beautifully written. It's my favorite John Hughes movie right there with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So good. Number 3 is Jaws. One of my all-time favorite Spielberg movies with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Jaws is so good. The ultimate monster movie, but it's also about the characters. It's about Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, and Roy Schneider. The 3 of them on the orca hunting down this shark. John Williams' score, Spielberg's direction, and 3 performances of the 3 characters really made this movie brilliant. It is the movie that basically started the summer blockbuster. Jaws. And number 2, speaking of Spielberg, Jurassic Park. Love Jurassic Park. It's almost basically neck and neck with Jaws. It's the ultimate dinosaur movie. He perfected it with Jaws, and he did it again with Jurassic Park. With great characters, amazing practical effects, another brilliant score by John Williams, and an iconic movie that gave us a not needed franchise, but we'll always remember Jurassic Park. Anyways, number 1, Back to the Future. It's Back to the Future. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's fucking Back to the Future. It is the ultimate feel-good movie. It's the movie that will always put a smile on my face. Anytime, any day where I feel sad, I'll put Back to the Future on and I will feel happy. It's the only reason it needs. So there we go. That was my top 20 of my favorite Universal Studios movies. Let me know in the comment section below. What is your top 10, top 5, top 20, or just your favorite? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.